Hello, everybody. Today you are tuning into Why Plants, a new podcast produced and hosted by myself, Adriana Berg, a plant-based college student who is passionate about health and well-being and wanting to spread my knowledge to others. Why Plants will cover a wide range of topics from personal stories, health facts, misinformation busting, interviews with professionals from the space, inspiration, motivation, and more. Discover plants and rediscover yourself. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, everyone. Today is the first episode of Why Plants, my new podcast. And today we're going to be digging into a variety of topics. We're going to be answering the question, what is a plant-based lifestyle and why should you really care about it? I'm also going to share a little bit more about myself, why I decided to go plant-based, and my journey and how I'm feeling about it today. And then finally, we're going to end with some myth busting, which I am personally very excited about. So, what is a plant-based lifestyle? Why should you care? Starting off strong, according to Harvard Health, plant-based eating patterns focus on foods primarily from plants. This includes not only fruits and vegetables, but also nuts, seeds, oils, whole grains, legumes, and beans. And I kind of disagree with this definition. I would say that it focuses on foods that are totally from plants, not primarily. So, already disagreeing with the professionals here. So I think the first thing we all think of when we think of plant-based eaters is maybe someone eating plain spinach for dinner, but personally for me that is not the case, and I know for a lot of plant-based people that is also not the case. So consuming plants does not mean eating plain spinach for dinner. It means creativity, experimentation, and a healthy, sustainable style of living that nourishes you as well as the planet. I wanted to give a couple more facts here that I found. So according to the National Health Organization, transitioning to plant-based diets has the potential to reduce diet-related land use by 76%, diet-related greenhouse gas emissions by 49%, and green and blue water use by 21%, also giving substantial health co-benefits. In addition, research shows that plant-based diets are cost-effective, low-risk interventions that may lower body mass index, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels, and may also reduce the number of medications needed to treat chronic diseases. And these are two things that when I first heard about plant-based eating, I was like, that cannot be true. Like, that is too good, and I don't know how making a simple change would have such a huge effect on the planet and on our bodies. So with that, I want to tell you guys what inspired me to transition my lifestyle and where I first heard about plant-based living. So I have been vegan for almost 2 years now, and I have loved every aspect of it, from cooking with an abundance of fresh produce to experimenting with new recipes. I have newfound energy, optimism, and passion for eating healthy, and also, along with that, staying active. So I first discovered the vegan lifestyle from documentaries explaining the topic. I felt like a new world had just been introduced to me when I was watching these, one where I could heal my toxic relationship with food and also feel like my best self. The moment I adopted the lifestyle, I felt like I looked and felt instantly better. It was kind of insane. I started the diet in May of 2021, and by the middle of that summer, I had people asking me about my lifestyle change. It was a really good feeling to finally know that I was doing something right for myself. And also the planet. I noticed that I could eat more food and still feel satisfied without feeling overly full. I'd never had a good relationship with food before this. I always felt like I needed to restrict myself in some way in order to feel and look good. This never really made sense to me, and I always felt like there was a better way to live, and I'm so glad that I found it with plant-based eating. And adding a little more color to this story, I've also had a lot of diseases and injuries, and you name it, I had it. And I also have a lot of health anxiety, so anything that I can do to make my body the happiest it can be and the healthiest it can be, I'm gonna do it, and I think that's also a big part of why I just fell in love with this way of eating, and it really can heal you, which is pretty cool. So now into the fun part, what we've all been waiting for, plant-based myth busting. So today we'll be myth busting probably the most common plant-based misinformation out there, which there is a lot, and just for food in general, there's a lot of misinformation, and it's pretty confusing. The myth is that people who consume plant foods do not get enough protein or vitamins, and therefore they do not feel satisfied or full after meals. This is false, everybody. Do not worry. We're going to prove it right now, today. In a scientific review of research studies that compared the effects of supplementation with soy protein to animal protein, it was found that there was no difference in the gains in muscle mass and strength following resistance training. Regardless of what type of protein you're eating, as long as you're getting the right amount, you're still going to get the same gains, so you don't have to worry. And on the other end, according to the SUNY Downstate Medical Center, it's easier to absorb calcium from plant-based sources than from dairy products. Wow, shocker. I honestly did not know that, and that is pretty cool because I've also been dairy-free my whole life, so good thing I'm getting enough calcium. And then protein is found in a wide variety of common plant-based foods, especially nuts, beans, and legumes, including soy products and whole grains. People are sometimes surprised to learn that protein is also found in green vegetables, potatoes, mushrooms, and squash, and that even fruits contain some protein. Therefore, getting adequate protein from a whole food, plant-based diet is actually pretty easy, and I can confirm that. Alright, moving on to our next fact. According to Will Buckschwitz, the author of the best-selling book Fiber Fueled, my favorite book ever, I've read it like 4 times, please read. Increasing dietary fiber intake by eating more whole plant foods helps us to feel full after a meal and can also prevent food cravings. We all want that. I also can attest to eating more fiber just makes you feel like a new person. Once I started going more on the whole food side, I would say I eat like 90% whole foods now with a little bit of processed in there. That was a whole nother like game changer. Like I was like, wow, I feel 10 out of 10. And our last fact of the day is, according to Harvard Health, the average human only needs 0.36 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So for someone who weighs around 160 pounds, that would be about 55 to 60 grams of protein per day. Which is pretty easily achieved on a plant-based lifestyle, even if you aren't trying. I know for myself, I like to work out, I'll admit it. I want the muscle gains, so I do supplement with Vega protein powder, it's called. I have the classic vanilla flavor. It has 25 grams of protein per serving, and it's 180 calories. I sometimes do a little bit less. Just add it to my smoothie in the morning with a bunch of other plants and fruits and all the good stuff, and it tastes amazing. I love it, and after trying every plant-based product on the market, I can tell you it's the cheapest and it's probably overall the best. So I highly recommend that if you are thinking about going plant-based, and I hope you are after listening to this podcast. So thank you guys so much for watching. Wow, used to be a YouTuber, everybody. Kidding, I was a wannabe YouTuber. Anyways, that's for next time. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope you tune in next time to Why Plants. See ya.